Hey guys, welcome back to my Phantom Progression series. This is going to be episode 5, and from where we left off in the last episode, we're going to be starting at level 270. And here in the beginning, we're just going to be leveling some symbols and also using some of our soul Erda fragments to level up our hexa. And we actually do manage to get all of our symbols to 17 and then Lachlan to 19. So our arcane power is looking pretty good here. And we're actually just going to be jumping into some bosses here right from the get-go. Since we have 2 weekly resets in this video, I figured that one of the weekly resets I would just show the drops. And the reason I'm choosing the first one is because I forgot to do Culvert this week, so I didn't actually have guild skills, which meant that all of the runs were a lot longer. We didn't manage to get anything super special other than this daybreak pendant that dropped from Vihila. This is going to be just a small gain, but a small guaranteed gain, since we will be able to replace it or replace the Dominator pendant with it. So that was pretty nice. Other than that, the week was pretty dry, not super interesting, but of course we did get the money, so that's at least something. And then, since we had gathered enough traces of darkness, I went ahead and did my liberation mission for Magnus, and then I turned it in. And right after that, I could actually do my liberation mission for Lotus. So I just did those back to back, since it doesn't require the monthly mission now, so I'm kind of just overcapping on the traces and then bunching up the bosses. After this, since it requires double the amount of traces of darkness, I don't think I'm going to be able to bunch them up, but yeah, all the missions will just come slowly. I believe we're around halfway right now, so it's actually looking really good so far. So even with the lack of guild skills and the Genesis mode, which decreases your final damage on Lotus, the run was actually significantly faster than last week. And that was prevalent for all of the bosses basically. Since we're getting some passive gains through the Hexa Matrix and the Me Matrix, and just like the stats you gain from level ups with the hyperstats and everything, we are just getting stronger and stronger every week. And since we're still, I wouldn't say early into the progression, but we're definitely still at a point where a lot of stuff is just making our character stronger more quickly. I'm feeling this every week. So even with the lack of guild skills, the runs weren't super slow. It was actually a decent pace for most of them.
Oh! Nein! Nein, 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 nein,
Kinda sad with the roar there, but short after this, we actually do manage to get our first sup earring.
Yo!
So this sup earring is gonna be a pretty big gain. I believe it was around like a 7 or 8 mil CP increase. So really huge. I just transferred it into my I transferred my reinforced that I had already star forced to 21, transferred that into the sup earring, and then cubed it up to have 2 line stat at legendary. So was a really significant gain, and really happy to get that before I managed to scrape together the last 700 coins. If I didn't get it, I would have just bought it, so super nice to be able to save those coins for some other fodder. So of course, since it had been boss reset, that also meant the epic dungeons had reset. So I went ahead and did the Angler Company, just for the free frags, and then of course also the EXP. And this gave me a pretty significant amount of EXP, and then I also had some EXP vouchers. So that actually meant that I leveled after this. Since I've been grinding a ton, that also means that I've gotten a lot of fams. Not that many uniques, since I am still looking for the large drop. But we do have some uniques and then a ton of epics as well. I want to go on a little rant here because, as I mentioned in the last episode, the fam system is just really insufferable. And I was checking up on some averages for the large drop, and I also checked some old notepads that I had from my previous characters. So both on my dual blade and on my Thunderbreaker, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I farmed on both of those a lot, and I farmed a lot of epics on those. And with this Phantom now, I believe we're at around 1400 or 1500 epics from those three characters, and none of them have seen the large drop. So I am mostly going to be focusing on the epics just to roll for that one. Still haven't gotten any luck so far, but hopefully one day that will come. So getting back to the averages, I read that it was around 150 to 160 epic fams on average for the large drop if you only rolled for the epics. And since I've also rolled for some of the uniques, I think it's safe to say that this Phantom is already quite above the average. It's not like we're double above it, but we are nearing it. And yeah, I'm just hoping to see this one soon, because getting the large drop is just super nice for farming, and I just want to get it out of the way as soon as possible. So yeah, we're going to be praying for the future here. And getting to something that is completely different from the fam system, we got a damage skin extraction coupon from one of the event shops. Don't really remember where I bought it from, but I decided to extract my Lin unit damage skin that I got from when Beast Tamer changed into Lin. And I think that the font and the color and everything just suits Phantom's kit very nicely. So yeah, got a bit of a change there. And then I also switched up my look a little bit, but I'm gonna be switching my look a couple of times throughout this video, since I was kind of in a identity crisis and I was tired of the tiger helm and everything. So I switched out the outfit, and then I also bought a royal hair coupon to switch my hair. I didn't buy one of the RNG ones, I just bought one of those where you could select it, since I think the other ones are a scam. And last Sunday we had a inner ability reroll Sunday, so it's basically just half off on the honor XP that you spend. And I wanted to see if I could get a proper grinding inner. So the lines I was going for was item drop on the first line, and then a unique meso line, and a unique normal monster damage line. And I believe we had around 1 million honor XP to roll, so it wasn't like super crazy, but we actually managed to get it done, and not just get it done, but get both of the second lines in unique. So that was yeah, I'm super stoked about that. After leveling to 272, I had one of those moments where I was just kind of bored and I wanted to spend some money. So I wanted to upgrade my daybreak pendant, and I think when I did this I wasn't actually sure on whether or not just to send the daybreak, but I decided to park it at 17 just because it would be a secured gain, and that went to 17 pretty quickly. I had quite a bit of mesos at this point, but I decided to give myself a limit, so when I reached 15 bill I wouldn't spend any more. And after the daybreak, got Starforced and Potentialed and Flamed a little bit as well. I got like a 2 mil increase from that. I decided to try and Starforce on my Dominator pendant, and I had 2 spares of this at this point. So yeah, I just wanted to send it to 21 so that I could transfer it into my superior necklace. And this cost quite a bit of money. But as I said, when I hit 15 bill, I wouldn't be spending any more money. So if it went, that would be nice. If it didn't go, then I would still have quite a bit of money in my inventory. So that's just a way for me to behave myself, I guess. But after an insane amount of 15 to 16 fails, as you just saw, the pendant actually decided to go from 15 to 16 to 17 and all the way up to 21 without any fails or booms. So really happy about that, and that means that I could transfer it into the sub necklace and then give the sub necklace a actual potential, because I believe it was only unique with 9 and 6 before, so then I could get it to 12 and 9 now. So really significant gain, and as I mentioned, I finished the Golic set now, so yeah, we're just a lot stronger than we were.
Please.
So of course I cannot complain at all. I just think it's fucking ridiculous that I managed to get an actual boss damage fam before I see this large drop. I'm of course super happy about the boss fam. It was the lowest amount that you can get, but 20% boss damage for free is quite a big increase, so I'm really happy about that. And I hit it before 200 epic fams, so it was, yeah, very lucky. So here I'm just upgrading some of the sacred symbols, and so far the sacred symbols haven't been too important to me other than just grinding, but since we are nearing a point where I want to be able to do some of the bosses like Seren and Kalos, and in the future Kaling as well, we do need a lot of the sacred power increases from the symbols. And then of course it's also just a massive stat gain, but here we actually get a huge stat gain because we leveled all of our arcane symbols except the Lachlan, and we leveled all of our sacred symbols here. So it was quite the combat power increase, and yeah, very nice. And even though we were still in the week where I didn't have any guild skills with my newly found sacred power, I wanted to give normal Seren a solo attempt just to kind of gauge where my damage was. And yeah, you can see how it goes. After seeing this damage here in phase 1, I was actually very hopeful that I would be able to clear it, or at least be pretty close to. But I guess I forgot all about the healing phase in P2, and that actually ended up affecting my total damage a lot more than I would have liked. But the damage is looking pretty decent here in phase 1. I'm getting out with just the Origin Burst and a 3-minute, so that means our Origin is coming straight up for P2 here. I also think that I made the mistake of actually bursting in this phase. I don't remember if this is dawn phase or what you call it, but the deer phase. I don't think I should have bursted here. I think I should have held my origin and then waited until the phase change again and then just popped it there. But I did end up bursting here, and unfortunately I couldn't even break through the shield, so that just kind of felt like a waste. So since there was 1.5 minutes remaining and she was only down to 50%, I kind of gave up at this point. Um, but at least then I found out exactly where my damage was at. Of course, I'm still missing some sacred power here and there, and I didn't have any guild skills and all that. But to be honest, for around 94 mil CP at this point, I was a lot weaker than I thought I was gonna be. But again, I think it was because I fucked up by bursting in the deer phase and all that. But yeah, it was nice to gauge my damage, and also nice to know that I could live for the entirety of the 30 minutes. So we're definitely going to be giving this a try again once I get more damage. after hitting 273, the weekly boss reset was coming up again. And this week, I knew for sure that I was going to have guild skills because since I was so sad about not having it the prior week, I of course decided to do the culvert early on in the week so I wouldn't forget. And from the superior set and the guild skills and everything, my damage on all of the bosses were, I want to say, almost doubled, because I believe that my vehicle run in the week before this one was around 19 minutes or so, and in this week it was around 10. I believe it was around 10 or 11. So my damage just really power spiked from the last week to this one, which was super nice to see. And I actually felt like I breezed through all of the bosses this week. Yeah, as you can see here, she's already down to very low percent, so it's actually a less than 10-minute run. It's like a 9-minute something run, almost like a 8-minute something run, but a very fast run, and yeah, no issues at all here. And compared to the last week as well, which was pretty dry, this week I actually ended up seeing a lot of ring boxes, which is the drop that I mostly want to see. It's between ring boxes and armor boxes. The pitch drops is of course also a nice added bonus, but it isn't something that I'm expecting, and I'm also not like counting on those to further my progression that much. So mostly it's just the ring boxes and the armor boxes. As you can see here on Darknell as well, the run was around 7.5 minutes. So yeah, we're getting kinda strong. Now Lucid this week was of course also a lot faster, but this was actually the first week where I decided not to save my origin for P3. Since I saw my damage on the other bosses, I figured that I would be able to get through P3 with only my 3-minute burst. And I thought it would be a little bit closer, but we completely annihilated her, so that was very nice. I wasn't expecting much of her drops, but we managed to get the red ring box, which usually don't contain good stuff, but this week it contained a weapon jump 4, so this is a massive increase on our burst, and I'm super happy to get it this early. It's not a roar and it's not a continuous, but that just means that I have even more gains to be made from the rings, and once I do get my roar, I will be able to switch from roar to weapon jump each burst when the 2-minute changes come around. So yeah, massive gain, and as you can see on my burst here on Gloom, with it actually equipped, I almost managed to force open it on the first burst. So yeah, it's just really good progress this week. But as you can see from the drops of gloom as well, we were just showered in ring boxes this week. Again, we did manage to get the weapon jump 4, but other than that, it was just trash rings. But seeing this many ring boxes in 1 week is very rare, and I hope this trend continues. So after doing all of my solo bossing for the week, I linked up with my brother, and he took me on a hard seren run. So as you saw from the clip the week before this, I didn't have enough damage to kill normal seren on my own, but after getting the guild skills and everything else, and also the final damage boost from playing with a paladin, I was definitely able to blue dot on hard seren, I figured. And I was not just blue dot, I actually ended up green dotting this run without him waiting for me. So yeah, I think from now on, I think the plan is going to be that I run hard seren with him just for the chance of the emblem, and then daybreak pendant, and also hopefully a ring box. I don't remember if she drops the good ring box, I believe she drops a white jade ring box, which is the ring box that only contain level 3 and level 4. So it could be a chance to get either a continuous 4 or a ring of restraint 4. So we're hoping for that. Unfortunately, nothing really dropped here on the first run, but I was pretty stoked just having cleared her, or having green dotted her, I guess. And after Seren, we went into Black Mage. And I believe that this is going to be the last Black Mage run that I do with my brother on this character. Since I want to try and solo it starting from next month. I believe if I do get a little bit lucky on the Star Force events, if I manage to get either a skill ring or just some more levels and finish my arcane symbols and everything, I will definitely be able to solo this in a pretty decent time. I'm hoping for around like a 40-minute run, which doing one 40-minute run once every month isn't really a major thing. So yeah, I think that's going to be the plan moving forward, but this month I decided just to run with him. And Black Mage didn't really drop anything special either, but I got a ton of MVPs and a really nice crystal from it. But these last 2 weeks, all I've been focusing my hexa on has pretty much just been on my soul Janus, and here we actually managed to get it to level 10 and unlock the second ball. Even though I'm still not using the second ball, or using the ball mode at all, the permanent EXP increase from the skill itself is just super nice, so I thought that I couldn't really pass it up, and yeah, I managed to get it to level 10. So starting from now, I'm going to be going back to some damage increases from the hexa, which I'm looking forward to. And I also noticed that I hadn't really shown where I grind too much, other than the short clips from when I do level. But here in Odium, I switched maps 3 times, or I switched 2 times, I guess. I started in one and then, yeah, I trained in 3 different maps here. And the last map that I decided to train in was a map where you use the portals to move around, which I think most people just call portal farming. And portal farming isn't really something that I had done before, but I actually ended up enjoying it quite a bit. It's very chill, and with the Soul Janus Dusk, you don't really have to think much about the stray mobs. So yeah, just TPing around in a triangle or in a square, I guess, and killing all the mobs. It was quite chill. The XP rates were pretty good. The only really downside of it was the looting, because there were some stray platforms that I couldn't get to, or my pets were just too stupid to run over there. But other than that, the map was actually pretty nice to train in. So for some reason, when I started leveling all the arcane symbols, I decided to level the Lachlan symbol just a little bit more. I think it was because I wanted to get rid of the Lachlan weekly. So yeah, it just had a little bit more levels, and we actually managed to max it first. So this is the first arcane symbol that we are done with, which means one less weekly and one less daily. So after many hours in the portal farming map here in Odium, I actually leveled to 274. And for 274, I had been saving a lot of resources just to power level through the last level to 275. And as you can see here, I saved the golden tomato punchking, which gave me around 33%. And then I also saved some EXP vouchers. Unfortunately, I hadn't saved the Angler's Company since I needed it. I needed the frags to level my Soul Janus, but I saved the Monster Park as well. So right after hitting 274, I'm already over halfway into the level. So that just motivated me to get to 275 pretty quickly after. And it was also going to be the Sunday with the extra EXP. So yeah, I grinded a lot that Sunday and I got to 275 pretty soon after. So in this clip here, the Sunday with the EXP increases had already begun, and I believe I only needed like 33% to 275, and since I had like the dailies and the extra Monster Park EXP and everything, the last 33% actually came very quickly. And yeah, as I mentioned before, the portal farming is pretty chill, so I was just hanging out, enjoying that soon I was going to be getting out of Odium and into Shangri-La and just getting closer to some of the areas that are higher up. And yeah, we're actually almost the same level now as my dual blade, which is pretty insane for me to think about, since in my head my dual blade was like, it was my first character to 275, and even though it's been parked there for quite some time, I still consider it to be one of my like OG characters that I actually pushed. So yeah, I'm just super happy about this Phantom progressing so fast, and I believe the events have helped me a lot, but also doing this without Hyperburn has been quite the journey. So we managed to hit the big 275, and we unlocked, I think, visually one of my favorite zones in the game. This whole zone just looks very Ho-Young-ish, and I know Ho-Young is tied into the story, which is why the background things just are very Ho-Young themed. But all in all, I really love this area. And I had prepped quite a bit for this symbol as well. I bought out basically everything I could in the various shops and managed to scrape together 460 symbols. And after doing the dailies, I was above 470 symbols, which means that I got the symbol straight to level 5, which is a massive increase. 50 sacred power and 1300 stat, I believe. So this is the map that I spent most of the EXP Sunday on. I believe I used around 15 3x coupons. So I was here at least 7.5 hours. It's just quite a long time to grind. Luckily though, this map is really chill. It's kind of the same thing as it has been with the other maps except the portal farming map. But it's just standing in the middle, using ace in the hole, and then just clearing stray mobs with other attacks. And once every 6 minutes, I get to stand completely still for 30 seconds, which is usually where I switch video on YouTube or check my phone real quick or something. But yeah, I got a lot of EXP, I got a lot of fam cards this Sunday, and yeah, I'm super happy to be in Shangri-La. After getting Soul Janus to level 10, I decided that I wanted to put in some points into the hexa stat instead of leveling the mastery cores or the skill cores or whatever. So I think I'm going to be finishing this mastery or hexa stat 1. I'm going to be finishing that and then go back to some of the masteries and then finish hexa stat 2. But yeah, I don't really have a plan flushed out for now, but yeah, here I'm just showing you that I'm getting some gains in the hexa stat. And here we are doing the second last level on all of our arcane symbols. I think from now we only need one more weekly for all of them and then just doing dailies until then. And then all of our arcane symbols will be maxed. This came a lot faster than I thought it would, but it makes sense since we leveled the event skill that gives us extra symbols. Okay, it's the end of the video thing once again, and I'm just going to be recapping some of the stuff that we've gotten in this episode and in these last 2 weeks. And first of all, we got the daybreak pendant to replace the dominator pendant that I had in here instead, and mostly it was because of the dawn boss set, so now it's in a set bonus with the guardian angel slime ring just for the 10 boss and the attack and stuff like that. So a little but nice increase here, and pretty free as well. And then as you saw before, we got the dominator pendant to 21 and then transferred it into the superior. Got a pretty decent flame on this as well. And then we have, of course, we finished the Golok set in this episode, which was a major gain for the account here. Very, very nice. And funnily enough, I was missing the superior earring almost until I was able to buy it, but then I got back-to-back superior earring drops. So the plan with this is that I'm gonna try and see if I can 22 star this in an upcoming event. But yeah, we'll see. Like, we have a lot of reinforced earrings, so there is a chance that we actually end up 22ing this. And then, of course, we got the weapon jump 4, which was probably one of the biggest gains that we've gotten so far. This is just a massive increase to the burst, and it's been helping a lot on the different bosses. And then, in the fam department, we've gotten quite big gains this episode as well. We got the 20 boss, which I was freaking out over, and we actually also managed to get a 3% crit damage. I'm not entirely sure how close this is to a 3% attack, but I'm pretty sure they're comparable. nonetheless, it's really nice to actually see some proper damage fams. Then the symbols look like this. Pretty close to maxing the arcane symbols here. And we're at 250 sacred power. 60 of those sacred power, or 50 of them, I guess. Why is this so loud? I believe 50 of them. Yeah, 50 of them are from the event thing, which expires in 2 weeks. But for now, we are at 250 sec. And then we have gotten some gains. Let's just start with the V matrix here. I've used a lot of nodes off camera and just leveled all the things that needed leveling. So we maxed Freud's, maxed Last Resort, we maxed Goddess, and now we're just focusing on the other things. We maxed Blink as well, just for the attack, the 30 attack. And then I actually decided that I want to max all of the decents as well. But that's just gonna happen like eventually. There's not really any rush. Like you can see here, this is level 5 and it's still only 1 all stats. And I think when it's maxed, it's gonna be like 5 all stats or something. So it's not important at all, but I just want to like max everything. And the Seren skill and the Will skill are already like 15 and 16, so they're pretty high up there as well. And the boost notes maxed as well. I believe I missed like 2 levels on some of these in the last episode. And then in the hexa matrix, we have, I think, the same level on the origin, 9829. And then we got Soul Janus to level 10, which was the big one. It's 37% EXP passively, so that's just huge. And then we have Hexastat here. Let's just use 2 of them. Okay, so we have Hexastat at 13 out of 20, and we're going to max this, and then I think we're going to go back to some of these, but 13 out of 20 here. And I'm going to have the total amount of frags used somewhere on the screen, alongside the FAMs as well. And with my FAMs on, our combat power is just shy of 100 mil. I believe in the next episode or in the coming weeks here, we're definitely going to reach it. But yeah, we're very close to 100 mil, and it's pretty hype. It is pretty hype. But anyways, guys, thank you a lot for watching this one. I know it was a bit longer wait time than the other ones, but I hope you can bear with me. There isn't really much content to showcase. I just kind of need to figure out something. So I think the format is going to change these next coming episodes, but we'll see. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Take care, boys.